My name is Dan Tripp. I'm one of the owners of Good News Brewing Company.
My name is Matt Fair. I'm the other co-owner of Good News Brewing Company.
I was a home brewer brewing in my basement. I upgraded to an electric brew system, and it was pretty sketchy. And Matt joined my Bible study, and I was like, "You homebrew, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. Why don't you come see my system downstairs?" And so I showed it to him, and he laughed and left. And then, what did you say?
Game on. If he can do it like that, then I can do way better.
So that's what he did. He started, he's got a mechanic background, so he was able to build a brew system with electronic control panels, like kind of one you see in the back. We're pushing buttons and timers, and so he got good at it. And I was like, all right, I started brewing with him in his basement, and then we knew that we wanted to go pro someday, but we didn't know how to do that, and we knew that it had to be in that one barrel system. So we got a 1 barrel brew system, put our money together, and then once a month we had a brew party in his basement. So now we have an LLC, we have a logo, and we have a name. We found a little place. It was next to a laundromat, and they said, "I see a lot of hope in you guys, and I see a future with you all. We want to help you out. We'll give you free rent if you guys do all the build out of this place." We already have the equipment that was in our house, but then we found out the build out, we had to have architects, we had to have those things. And so we had to figure out how we can get some money. So we went to a lot of banks, and most of them said, "No, you have no professional brewing experience."
No restaurant experience, no business experience.
I picked up the phone and started making some phone calls, and that's how we met Justin.
I'm Justin Schultz. I work at the Economic Development Center in St. Charles County, and I am the SBDC representative there. My job really is to work with business owners on a wide range of issues that come up. My background is in banking, and so most of what I do all the time is financial forecasting and risk mitigation for a lot of the companies that I work with. I didn't know anything about their background or history. I wasn't living that dream with them, and so you ask a lot of questions and listen a lot. And through all that, the things that triggered in my mind were when they were talking about banks not believing in their history and all the stuff they had put into it. I felt that those banks may have been wrong, because what I saw was things like initial market testing. They had tried to scale down their operations to be as lean as possible. So all those concerns, such as you don't have restaurant experience, you don't have brewing experience. Well, they obviously did have brewing experience. They had been doing it. They had done market testing to see if anybody actually even cared or liked their product. They may not have had restaurant experience, but they mitigated that with having a fairly simple kitchen. It wasn't anything too extravagant. And so all of the, I think, major complaints that I was hearing just wasn't true. And so I worked with them on putting together their business plan, addressing these concerns, putting together financial projections. You create metrics to be able to even see whether or not it's working or how to make changes after you even get up and running.
So we wanted to grow and expand it, and we thought the bank would say no again, but they said, "Yeah, your numbers are looking great. We'll support you." So we got this place here in Defiance on the Katy Trail. It's middle of wine country, as at the beginning of wine country. So we get the first people coming in, and we get the last people coming out, and this has been very successful here. But now, we're tight here. We've outgrown this space, so we need a bigger space. So back to the SBDC, and the EDC, and the banks, and we got another 504 loan for another location, and we're expanding there. But yeah, our goal is to see how far we can take it and make it regional or nationally.
Don't hesitate. SBDCs, they've been great to work with. I think when you're first starting out, you're fearful of being told no constantly. They look into things. They don't just flat out tell you no. Banks will tell you no. They've worked well at doing their homework and trying to find yeses.
I think the way the relationship has evolved is it's just a lot more laid back and comfortable. There are times where I will just get a phone call out of the blue, which is what I'm totally okay with, and say, "Hey, I've got an idea." I never say I never say no. It's always, how can we make this work?
Yeah.
And if we can't figure out a way to make it work, and not just monetarily, they have their own goals. It has to work personally. People have real lives. What can you do? What can you do? And so we talk about all those things and see if we can find a pathway forward.
We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have this if it wasn't for the SBA.
Right.
Everything I do now goes goes to Justin first before I'm going to send it off to the bank. And so that's what's probably one of the greatest parts of this is I know that I've got another set of eyes that can look over what we come up with. So.
And it gets easier and easier to review every time.
It does.
It's like, oh, you've got this locked down. I just have to look at a couple things. Yeah, it makes sense. Great job.